Freedom is the passport to heaven. Xiefeng. The biggest difference between heaven and hell is that heaven is freedom, but hell is bondage. If you do not know the conditions of heaven and hell, then just look at the human world. Some people are locked in jails and lose their freedoms. Some live in debt, being kidnapped and threatened by people around them. Although their bodies are free, their hearts are controlled firmly by responsibilities, obligations, and emotions. This is like living in hell. Some are not fettered by kinships, have no debts to pay, have no worries about eating, clothing, living, transportation, life, old age, or death. Nor do they assume any responsibilities or obligations. They begin their work at sunrise and their rest at sunset, being transcendent from vulgar, secular society, and have freedom of their bodies and souls. In the mortal world, the freer people are, the less restrained they are. The more constrained they are, the more restrained they are. One's level of freedom is the touchstone to verify a person's quality of life and taste of life. The higher their level of freedom is, the closer they are to heaven. The lower it is, the closer they are to hell. The higher their level of freedom is, the more colorful their lives are. The lower their level of freedom is, the blander their lives are. How do we measure one's level of freedom? Being free from worries and cares, dread and fears, following predestined relationships, and walking along one's life trajectory proves that one's level of freedom is high. On the contrary, if one cares, worries, and has fears about many things, and is always anxious about their condition, then their level of freedom is low. For a life, freedom is foremost because only with freedom can a soul have space to fly, a mind to travel in boundless space and time, create unrestrainedly, enjoy the fragrance bestowed by nature, and go to heaven. How can one achieve a high level of freedom? Never establish special relationships with anyone. Never assume any responsibilities or obligations. Accrue no debts. Set no goals for yourself. Own nothing. The more you own, the less freedom you have. Promise nothing to anyone. Set no restrictions on yourself. Be unselfish. The more selfish you are, the less free you are. Have no ego. The more obstinate you are in yourself, the less freedom you have. Obey only the will of the greatest creator. Reject all moral preachings and ideas advocated by people. According to my observation, most people are not going toward freedom in their lives, but are shackling themselves constantly. They are not going to heaven, but are running desperately toward hell. Getting married is one example. Doing so is chaining a big iron ball to your ankle. Once you get married, you will have chosen to surrender half of your freedom. Starting a business or company is another example. It is your own vanity, greed, and desire to be outstanding that traps your freedom. Once you have your own company, you will never be free to climb down off the back of your tiger, and you will be stuck in the proverbial mud. Everyone wants to be an official, on the surface, that is rich, noble, honorable, dignified, and also glorifies their ancestors. But the truth is that after they become one, there are dangers everywhere. They live hypocritically and always lie to the point where even they do not believe what they say. They cannot say what they want or match their words with their deeds, which proves that they are not free at all. People are born into the realm of necessity. There are 18 factors that people cannot control by themselves. Therefore, as people, no one is truly free in their lives. They are wrapped in the waves of their times and have to rise and fall with them. Therefore, the essence of their lives are tragic. People knowing this take part in self-cultivation and self-refinement, try to get rid of the shackles of the kingdom of necessity and move towards the kingdom of freedom. However, this road is very difficult. It is like putting two piles in front of you, one of which consists of honor, power, money, beautiful women, handsome men, villas, luxury cars, people's compliments and admiration, while the other one has nothing but a letter of credit called freedom. Which pile do you choose? 99% of the people will always choose the first pile because the temptation of it is so strong. But for sure, those who choose the first pile will definitely lose their freedom. There is only one road from the kingdom of necessity to the kingdom of freedom. This is the tour guide's roadmap. It is only by following it strictly that one can have any hope of reaching the land of freedom. If any links are omitted, failure is guaranteed.